Hey everybody, this is John and welcome to tonight's free video. Let's take a quick look at the markets. Overall, the markets were kind of quiet today. A lot of the weakness we saw was in Apple, and so the question is what happens next? So these are the main kind of setups I'm looking for where we get kind of tight consolidation with a squeeze and we have earnings in the future. I like this for a potential breakout, not only looking for an expansion of price, but also looking for an expansion of implied volatility, which increases the premium portion of the option. So what does that look like? So if we look at the option chain here, you can see that the implied volatility, the normal implied volatility is, we got 47% here. It's a little all over the place, but the key thing here is that you'll notice that right here we have the highest implied volatility. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, that's when earnings are. And what happens is a lot of times you can get a price run into earnings. And guess what? The closer stock gets to earnings, since there's more uncertainty surrounded with an earnings announcement, the higher the implied volatility climbs. Okay, and as the implied volatility climbs, that means the premium portion of the option that you own also climbs. So if you look at the difference here between, so we bought the $66 calls. They're $3.80. Okay, so this is where the implied volatility is 54%. And if we go to the $66 calls here, you can see they're $2.62. It's $1.20 cheaper. And that has a lot to do with that implied volatility. So I like that one. And then from there, we also have Alibaba, which is also one of my favorites just because it's super strong. You might say, well, gosh, that looks extended. But if you look at the weekly chart, boom, look at this. You got a squeeze here that's just setting up. The last weekly squeeze here was actually kind of wimpy, but you can see the stock still had a really good move. And I think there was one, let's see, that was a downward squeeze. Okay, so that was that. And then last but not least, I want to look at Baidu, which I don't currently have a position on, but you can see it's also developing a squeeze, and I like that as well. Okay, so let's go to a daily chart here. So just keeping an eye on that. And so the question now is, what are some of the things that we want to look at going forward, and how do we look at this market since it's pretty volatile? Well, one key thing that we got to look at is Apple. All right, Apple. It is very, very difficult for the markets to have a big move if Apple's going lower. Okay, so Apple represents 11% of the NASDAQ. So it's good to know what Apple's doing. We had it was deceptive today because the NASDAQ was a little choppy and weak. However, a lot of NASDAQ stocks did very well. And this is where something like knowing what's going on with Apple helps. It's like, okay, I can see that the NASDAQ really isn't as weak as it looks. It's just that Apple's not having a good day today. Tomorrow we've got the GDP, and then we've got Intel has reported, and you'll see that Intel closed at $45.30, but after hours is at $47.32. Let me check the expected move on that. All right, so I do not have a position on this. You'll see again, you were looking at AKM, 54% implied volatility. It'll probably be, by the time we get to earnings, it'll probably be up here at 76%. So if you look at this, we closed at $45.30. After hours, we're at $47.34. That is a move of let's call it $2. The expected move was $1.70. Okay, so what this means is we are through the expected move, and that's very bullish. Typically, if a stock opens up through the expected move, it will at least hold and potentially go higher. It's much more strong if it can, opens up like 1.5 times the expected move. But this bodes well for it to hold, and that can obviously impact the NASDAQ tomorrow. So we've got the GDP numbers tomorrow. I don't anticipate that they're going to be bad. I mean, everything's kind of rocking and rolling and business is spending money. So it would make sense that tomorrow we see an up day. But, this market is so extended, it just makes me nervous. So I like the idea of staying 90% cash, get a couple of longs in stocks we like the ones we just covered, AKAM and Alibaba, and then just stay nimble. And keep in mind that if you have not been participating in our free open house, tomorrow is the last day for that. So if you go to simplertrading.com/free, you'll get to this page and just claim your spot here. And what will happen is when you get to the thank you page, you'll be able to download the app for text alerts and also to access our live trading room. We've had some really great trades on Wednesday, solid trades today, and I'm anticipating that Friday will be action packed. Okay, again, simplertrading.com/free. kind of give you a chance to see some live action and how we trade the markets in real time, what setups we use, what software and indicators and things like that too. And I welcome you to kind of take all the knowledge you can and just run off and go do your own trades, or you can actually see what you would like to do if you'd like to continue and see what we're doing before we raise all the prices up on our rooms, which is going to happen in the next couple of days. Okay, you guys have a fantastic rest of the evening, and we'll see you at the next update.